The time is 6:05, and I call this meeting to order. We can please stand for the pledge and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Dr. Azaiz, do we have anybody signed up for open forum?
No one signed up for open forum.
Okay, then we'll go on to Superintendent's Report, Board of Trustees recognition. Dr. Az.
Well, good evening, Dr. Valdez, and good evening to our Board of Trustees. As you know, January is School Board Recognition Month, and I personally would like to express my gratitude to all of you and thank you for volunteering countless hours of your time to serve on our Donna ISD School Board. It has been a pleasure and a privilege working alongside you in support of our students, teachers, staff, parents, and our community. As you are aware, these past few months.
Dr. Zay, I think you're on mute.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Again, sorry about that. Good evening, Dr. Valdez and all our Board of Trustees. As you know, January is School Board Recognition Month, and I personally would like to express my gratitude to all of you and thank you for volunteering countless hours of your time to serve in our Donna ISD School Board. It has been a pleasure and a privilege working alongside you in support of our students, teachers, staff, parents, and our community. As you are aware, these past few months have been tough for school districts across the globe due to the COVID-19 crisis. In fact, we've seen our educational system disrupted at every level. However, thanks to your leadership, we've been able to prevail by remaining resilient and positive. While we've always acknowledged the critical role you play as advocates for our Donna ISD family, we've come to appreciate you even more now, and we continue confronting this devastating pandemic and the challenges it has presented to us. It's because of you, your sound and timely decision, that we have the tools we need to continue providing quality instruction for our students while maintaining safe environment for everyone. So, as we observe January as School Board Recognition Month, we celebrate you and commend you for always keeping our Donna ISD family's best interests in mind, especially during these difficult times. As a special tribute to you, I would like to share with you a video presentation we put together in your honor.
This year has been like no other. Our educational system has been disrupted on every level due to the pandemic.
It required an extraordinary combination of skills and talents from everyone.
It meant adaptability, quick problem solving, teamwork, and leadership.
While these uncertain circumstances created many challenges, our Board of Trustees stepped up to the plate and came through for us when we needed them the most.
Thank you, board members, for laying the groundwork to ensure our safety and well-being while we continue to progress academically.
We know that this year has not been easy, but please know that your decisions and support have helped steer us through these unprecedented times.
So with much respect and in observance of this year's theme, thank you for navigating to success. We will always be grateful.
Hello, my name is Michelle Gomez. I am a 9th grader here at Donna Early College High School. I would like to thank the board members for making this possible for me and for my fellow classmates. It is a great opportunity to be here because college is very expensive and it takes a long time, especially because I personally want to be a pediatrician, which takes a lot of years. So it would help us save time and money. And we have lots of clubs, organizations, and everything. So we're still experiencing the traditional high school, but was also mixed with college, which is a great bonus for all of us. I enjoy it here because it helps me prepare for college life also. And since our teachers here are very caring and supporting, we can ask them questions and everything. And since we're also taking college classes, we know more or less how it's going to be in college, like projects, essays, all that stuff.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Lara. I am a 6th grader at Dora Salceda Middle School STEAM Academy. I am excited to be taking a robotics class in Dora Salceda because I want to be a teacher. I would like to say a big thank you to all the board members. Thank you and go Seminoles!
My name is Catarina Munoz. I'm taking FFA Agriculture 8th grade at Veterans Middle School. And they're teaching us how to breed, take care of the animals, and how to do everything for the animals. And I want to thank the board for everything that they're doing, bringing this to us, and letting us take an early step. Thank you again.
Many of us would lose our education if we didn't have the towers. And I feel like now that if we do have it, more of us will be engaged in learning. We would ask more questions. It would make tutoring so much easier. Learning would be so much easier as well. If we say we need classes after school, we go home, we can still have access to the internet and not just say an excuse. We would actually have access to something. I think that's the towers would benefit a lot. And I really, really, really would like to thank the board for letting this opportunity come to our schools. It's a very big blessing.
These Chromebooks that you have distributed to the students have helped me work on my classroom a lot easier. The screens are much wider than a phone. I can finish my work during class, and I want to thank the board members for distributing these devices to us so that we could have a much easier way to do school.
It's helped me a lot because the board has supported us students here and students that can't come here because of what's happening, and their family members can be provided with food that the school can give and Meals on Wheels, and helps a lot of people. It helps my closest friends in situations where they can't get food, and they help them a lot. It helps people here that come to school also to get food because they're in bad situations again. And it helps us focus too, to get schoolwork done and feel like we can, like to have a second home here. And I just want to thank you a lot.
I'd like to give thanks to the school board for ensuring and investing into the safety of us students when coming out to campus or attending practices and games. As a DA, I feel safe when going to practice because the board has provided us with protective equipment such as germix, masks, and etc. Us students are very grateful for this opportunity the board has given us to have a sense of normality by ensuring and prioritizing the safety of us students. Once again, I would like to give a big thanks to the board for putting us students first and our safety.
Thank you, Dr. Maricena Mendez. Thank you, David de los Rios. Thank you, Jose Valdez. Thank you, Eva Castillo Watts. Thank you, Colonel Roberto Perez. Thank you, Jose Reina. Thank you, Fernando Castillo.
Buenas. Ay, no conozco a nadie de ustedes. Cuando yo estaba aquí en Salazar había diferentes personas. Ay, soy Mrs. Valdez de la mesa directiva del distrito escolar.
Hi.
¿Ya pasaron los niños, no? Sí. So esto es snacks or... Hi, I'm just gonna be visiting.
Sometimes they'll look by giving you a number next to your line, so maybe they'll give you, for example,
Take care. Take care. Oh, yeah, she knows what to do. Just visiting. Are you enjoying school more coming to school, or are you doing it from home? That's good. That's good.
Estoy viendo es que están haciendo con otra niña que también es famosa, cantando en el jardín.
Estamos de seguro que tienen todo lo que necesitan para que estudien. ¿Ok, mija?
Sí.
Ok, gracias, mija. Ok.
Gracias.
So how many kids do you have now at the campus?
All right. Yeah, as of today, we have like 20 something. Or just for today. Yeah.
We have, disinfecting in case we need to clean areas. So we're very, very well taken care of, yes.
Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenos días. ¿Cómo están?
¿Cómo vamos?
Les presento a Mr. de los Ríos, es uno de nuestros board members.
Miss Counselor.
How we doing?
Bien, bien. See, that's what I'm telling you. I have to move everybody here. My yawn.
Yeah.
You're sleepy?
No.
You yawn? You don't get it. Anything that you guys are doing, like studying, whatever you're studying right now, okay, it has to go through us, and then we decide, is that a good plan for you guys, or maybe this plan is not good, we have another plan for you guys.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing my assignments.
So this is 4th grade, right?
Hi.
Hi, Miss Priscilla Liz, I'm a new board member.
Yes, sir.
I'm just here to see how you're doing.
Oh, Mr. Valdez, I was very happy.
I won, so thank you guys.
Very happy.
So you guys are still teaching the same subjects? Or?
We're still teaching the same thing, writing and reading.
Hi guys.
Hi.
What are you guys doing right now?
I'm just looking right here.
Hey, you what are you doing here? Right now.
Reading?
Reading?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Ahí está el bigotazo, el bigotazo. Allá anda todavía. ¡Eso! Estoy igual. It's not the prettiest one, okay? No es el más bonito, pero está cerrado.
No, it's okay, sir. Thank you.
Oh, man, that looks ugly now. Come on, look at it. Emily, this is for you. The little face mask compliments for your campus principal. AP Solis, okay? What grade are you in? 8th. You're fixing to go into that big school next year, right? Good luck. A lot of good seeing you guys there. Take care. All right, we've got face mask for you, compliment on your campus principal. Remember, if you get to a word que no le entiendes, you gotta look it up, porque si no, no vamos a hacer el okay? All right, we'll see. And you young lady, what is your name? Sally, right? What grade are you in? 7th? Okay, that's a face mask for you. The principal got them all, okay? Because really, because AP Solis is what type of school? The best! There you go, good job.
Good afternoon, guys. How y'all doing? I want to introduce one of our board members from Donna ISD. This is Retired Colonel Robert Perez. He's the one that helps us with the decisions to make everything safe for y'all.
I do appreciate you guys' efforts each and every day. To continue focusing and do the right things within your families. If you need help, I know you that you decide to stay home. Hopefully you don't. If you do, that's okay. Are you glad you're back? So, tell me what you do. What are you doing today? Okay.
¿Cómo están, ma'am? Ese señor Pérez es un señor de la mesa de arriba. ¿De dónde?
Bueno, de visita, a ver qué están haciendo. I know the district is doing a good job disinfecting each night. If they're not doing disinfecting each night, then obviously we should. Thank you very much. Hay un día que no piensen ustedes.
Boys and girls, we have a visitor in the class.
My name's Jose Roy Reina. I'm the news court, Donna School Board member. Looking forward to helping you guys out. I have 4 kids attending school. Well, I'll be around for these years coming up and hopefully doing the best I can. Con permiso, gracias, gracias. Gusto verlos. Ya nos estamos tirando ahí de más adelante. Gracias, thank you. Igualmente, gracias. Thank you, thank you.
¿Cómo estamos? Bien, gracias a Dios, muy bien.
Okay, because a lot of these answer choices on the start, they're going to give you one correct answer, and then they're going to give you the answer that's like.
As of right now, because of the COVID, I have divided my students into half, especially my college course classes from SGC. So half of them come in the morning and the other half come in the afternoon. So pretty much what we do everything by scratch for the culinary arts program. As of today, we're actually doing chicken parmesan, which the students actually did their pasta by scratch and their Alfredo sauce by scratch. So that's what we do every morning. They come in the morning, they go in and they go into their first period class. After their first period class, they come and they start cooking here with me as well. But so excited, the kids love it. They're coming into my class, even though it's the COVID is here, but yet they're coming to my class to learn how to cook, and hopefully they could finish off so they could get their certificate in culinary arts.
Hey, mi Sergio, what's up? Good to see you.
In appreciation for all that you do, we would like to present each of you with a gift basket and also a plaque. The gift basket is already in your desk, but also this is the plaque that will be given to you. Thank you to thank you for everything that you're doing for our community. This plaque will honor you for your dedicated leadership in public education and continued service to the children of our community. In observance of this year's theme, we want to thank you for navigating the district to success during these challenging times. Again, that you for all that you do for Donna ISD. So thank you to all our Board of Trustees. We truly appreciate you. As you can see, our students, our staff, they share also their feelings and their appreciation for everything you do for us and for our community every day. So thank you again one more time. I want to just take a time to also thank, you probably saw how the boardroom is decorated and all the great things that the artifacts that many of our staff members and at the campuses, as well as Mr. Tamaz's team with parental involvement, really put together for you. Again, that's another token of appreciation for everything you do for our students and for our community. Thank you again, board members, for everything you do. Thank you. Next, we have recognition of Board of Trustees from the South Texas College. So I think they should be on the call with us, an STC, a representative from STC. I think I see Dr. De Leon, right, Dr. Leon?
Hi, yes, thank you. On behalf of South Texas College, our Board of Trustees, our dual credit programs, administration, faculty, and staff, we would like to present to you gift boxes. We did leave them earlier this week, so this is a small token of appreciation. Just to highlight a little bit the partnership that we've had throughout the past 20 years with our partnering school districts. We've tried, we've worked diligently to ensure that no student is left behind the educational curve. Specifically for Donna ISD, I want to highlight a few of your accomplishments. We provide the opportunity through our partnership to earn college credit, tuition free for our students. We have 3 designated high schools. You have your T-STEM campuses and your early college high school. 44 of your students earned a higher ed credential this past spring of 2020. And so we would like to thank you. Our program, our dual credit program now is NACEP accredited. This is the National Alliance of Concurrent Enrollment Partnerships. So what does this mean for Donna ISD and our partnering school districts? Your district, your students, and your families can rest assured that our program is to the highest quality and highest rigor. So thank you so much for your continuous support for our college initiatives and participation in our dual credit programs. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. De Leon, and thank you to obviously the OSTC for their continued partnership and support.
Thank you.
Next, we have a January LSG monitoring report. So I'll be sharing my screen again. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. All right, so Dr. Valdez and board members. So every month we share with you our monitoring report, and based on our calendar for this month, we'll be sharing board goal 3 and superintendent constraint number 3. I just want to also again mention that obviously as we are instructing our students and we're gathering data, I want to make sure that if you have any questions about it, obviously things are a little bit different than normal years. Obviously, we won't be having accountability when it comes to STAR testing this year, but our teachers and our staff are assessing our students and trying to address the need of our students as much as they can. The majority of our students are obviously receiving the instruction from home virtually. Nevertheless, I'm very proud of the work that our teachers and our staff and our leaders are putting forward to help our students. So the goal number 3 talks about the percentage of graduates demonstrating college, career, military readiness. And we want that number to go from 62.6% to 77% by 2025. And the goal 3, there are 3 different GPMs. The first one talks about the percentage of students in STAR assessed content achieving meets a level. We would like for that to increase from 37 to 49 by year 2025. GPM 3.2, we are trying to address the graduates or the seniors who are demonstrating college readiness. We want that to increase from 36 to 47% by 2025. And the third goal, the third GPM is we want the percentage of graduates or seniors demonstrating career or military readiness also to increase from 45 to 60% by year 2025. just a quick reminder about how we can measure if our students are demonstrating CCMR, college readiness. They can either meet the TSI criteria in reading and math, earn during credit courses, meet criteria in AP and IB exams, earn an associate degree, or complete on-ramp and dual enrollment courses. Career readiness, obviously, industry-based certification, graduate with a complete IEP and workforce readiness, or graduate under an advanced degree plan as a special education student. And as far as military readiness, they have to enlist in the armed forces in order for us district to earn credit for that. This is pretty much our 5-year goals or yearly goals. And then for each, obviously GPM also, we set different annual goals as well. This is overall goal. And we, as you remember, due to House Bill 3, we have to now to also not only talk about all students, but also talk about different subgroups or different categories. And so as you can see, we also set goals for each group, a student group, and also annual goals for that. This is where we stand as far as the goal 3 CCMR. For quartile, we are now in quartile 2, and this data, actually we pull it from December. So this was as of December 2020 for quartile 2. And you can see that obviously our goal is 63% for our students. We are, as of December, we were at 40%. So that's overall. As far as also different subgroups or groups, you can see that we are 40% for Hispanic, 38% for EcoDisc, and so on and so forth. So these are where we stand. We did not make a big jump from quartile 1 and quartile 2. Quartile 1 was done back in toward the end of September, if I believe. So from September to December. This is where for GPM 3.1, I remember GPM 3.1, we only look at the STAR meets. And so we are looking what are the percentage of students who will score meets on the STAR test. And our goal is 37%. Based on the data that we have back in December, we are at 19% for all students. The goal is 37%. One note, and you can see here in the top, we need to make sure that I clarify this. When we give the test for quartile 2, it was a TA interim assessment that we used to gather this data. This exam actually contained all the TEKS for the entire school year. And the reason being is because we wanted to get like more or less where our students are, so that we can help with decision making and also help our teachers address the need of the students. So that's where we are based on a GPM 3.1 for the MEET standard. Moving on to 3.2. 3.2 talks about college readiness. And so the goal is 36% for all students, 36% for Hispanic, 34% for EcoDisc, 15% for EL, and 6% for our special education students. And as you can see, this numbers we are at 29%, 27%, and so our numbers are stagnant. And somebody may ask why they're stagnant. As you remember, these are for our students who are taking college courses, and some of these courses were not done, so they did not earn those credit when we pull this data. So our goal, and I hope that we will go from 29 to at least 36% by the end of this semester. This is for career or military. And the goal for this, this particular GPM is 45%. And as you can see, we are at 17%. The goal again is 45%. This also, we're only talking about our seniors students. So some of them are still enrolled in a lot of CTE courses, though, like you saw in the video. Our students are still trying to get their social certificates done. So our goal, and we are very optimistic that by the end of this semester, our students will earn those certification and be able to at least, the very least, score the 45%. Keep also in mind that when it comes to military readiness, they have to enlist in the military. So we're also hoping that more of our students also will enlist in the military this semester. This is just to compare 2020 to 2021 school year. Sorry for the typo. So quartile 2 for 2020-21. And so remember, I don't know, when we had goal 3, CCMR goal in the previous 2 years, we had different GPMs. And so we had to adjust a little bit. And I remember we had a huge workshop back in the fall, or no, I'm sorry, back in the spring before I think the pandemic. And then we talked about may have to adjust the GPMs. So as you can see, some of the GPMs were removed or added. So for example, we used to use TSI as its independent or separate GPM. Now TSI is embedded within other GPMs. So we don't measure that separately, although it's an important component, but we don't consider TSI as a separate GPM. So for our new GPMs, TSI again is embedded. However, last 2 years, we had it as a different GPM, and we were used to be measuring. That's why you have 11% here, you have an NA here. Another thing also, we kind of like change is college ready. We did not have college ready as a GPM back in the last 2 years. So we were using as a measure as TSI. Now college ready is a different GPM. So we're measuring that. And so we are at 29.43%. So I wanted to add this slide here. We want to make sure so we can show our board members and everybody the differences, the slight differences when it comes to the GPM. So I make some adjustment, but the goal stays the same. The same umbrella, which is a CCMR goal. So this is some of our next steps, and I'm not going to go and read every single one of them, but there are different steps. Obviously, our teachers and our staff and our leaders are really working very hard, again, with our students to make sure that they're achieving their goals when it comes to CMR, because we want them to be college ready, career ready, or military ready. So all of our staff is working together. I just want to, before I go any further, I want to share with you some of how we measure this data. So I want you to know we do track this data, and we also look at it. Obviously, what I shared with you earlier was overall district, but here you can see what every campus stands. For example, this is for goal 3, and you can see how many of students for Donna High School, for example, that already met CCMR ready, how many at Donna North. So the denominator would be the number of students who met. The denominator would be the number of students who are seniors or we expect them to graduate. Here's for 3D, and this is for entire district. And you can go, we can go down here, and and you can go also to different GPMs. So we are tracking this. Our principals, our leaders, our counselors, our teachers are there tracking these numbers at every campus and making sure again that we are achieving the goals set by our board. We can go over some of this. Now, how they do it really one by one. So let me show you how they do it. So they have a track, and we removed names, first and last name for the students for confidentiality purposes, but this is pretty much what it is. So, and as you can see, you see the different tabs on the bottom. Our staff will be already tracking the 4-year cohort, right? So even cohort 2024, they're already working on toward that goal as well. So they're looking at every individual students, they're looking where they're at and how we can help them meet those CCMR goals. So it's a lot of work, a lot of tracking, one student at a time. And I wanna commend our high school staff, teachers, principals, leaders, counselors, who are really, again, working very hard to help our students and help our parents together, make sure again that our students are meeting those goals. So, and again, I can just show you there are different ways again of tracking these. I can show you, so they're tracking, as you can see in the top, TSI, they're talking college courses they're taking. If they are taking any college courses, are they doing any career ready industry certification? Are they sign up for military readiness? So this is a way of tracking all their students. So again, this is an example this is just an example from Donna North, but the high schools are doing the same thing. So let me go back. Sorry. So So we talked about that. I'm just gonna go back to the next slide. So see. Evidence. So again, I showed you the evidence. That's pretty much how we again, everybody's tracking. We call them Ccmr inventory reports because really keep tracking every single student. And we want to thank and give a kudos in particular to our special education students and our staff who are working very, very hard with our special ed students. As you can see, our special ed students are really excelling here. Overall, 89% of our special ed students are meeting Ccmr, which is amazing. And it's we only we're just done with the first semester. Also, as far as constraint for college credit, constraint number 3, the superintendent shall not allow the percentage of students who earn college credit for at least 3 hours in ELA or mathematics or 9 hours in any subject to decline. The goal was 27% for CPM 3.1. We are already at 28.13. 281 out of 993 students met that goal. So again, that means that we are meeting our constraint. And that's it for me. If you have any comments, questions, or any concerns.
Excellent. I'm actually seeing that Donna North High School is outperforming Donna High School, which has been very interesting. And the special education students, I've seen those scores go up significantly.
Yes. Thank you for that, for noting that. Sir? No, sir. I think you're muted.
Okay, there. How's that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was good. The only question that I have with regards to this is, I know that the CCMR specifically for high schools, with regard to a category, how are we doing with the current 2021 seniors as it pertains to semester 1 that's been completed, grades finalized and so forth, and now that we have semester 2 for them to graduate, because the entire state of Texas is going through this pandemic. And as we noted earlier, that our teachers are really doing their due diligence to work in every way possible. We have a good handle on our seniors because obviously there's no looking back. I know that the last day for them is June 17 instructionally. And if I'm not mistaken, most of the summer courses, summer session 1, usually begins the first week in June or second week in June. So have we come up with a particular plan for some of these kids that are seniors and then immediately want to go enroll in summer session 1?
So obviously we'll be working directly with the university. If they are taking any college courses over the summer, we'll obviously be working with, let's say, I'm assuming would be STC most likely, or UTRGV. So we will be working closely with them to ensure that there's a smooth transition to our students, sir. And it's a very good point that you're bringing up. As far as the failure rates and failing, it's like you mentioned, sir. It's really has been a very, very challenging situation for not just for our students and our community, but for entire state of Texas. So we are working, and I know our principals and their teams are working very hard, sir, to ensure again that our students are catching up. One of the things we also acquired this year, it's a program called Ingenuity, and it's a program for like credit recovery and help students catch up if they're falling behind. So again, our teachers, our staff, but also with the resources we are putting together, we're hoping that and our goal is to ensure again that our students graduate at the end of this year. So we don't want anybody to fall behind.
Right. I think we've at least I've mentioned this prior to, with regard to time is of the essence and we're going forward. So the only one thing that obviously your leadership team certainly would like to be certain that they're collaborating with the high school campuses and the 3D, not early college because that's a freshman cohort group, but with those individuals that have seniors, because really right now, the closer we get to the graduation date, the more the concerns will come up. So we need to be ahead of the game to be proactive.
Yes,
As
sir.
you mentioned, whatever program you mentioned a while ago, ingenuity, that's something that obviously needs to be placed out there on a day-to-day basis and be continuously reviewing, because these seniors, like all the other grade levels, it's really critical for them, and we certainly don't want to cut any more
Yes.
corners for
Yes,
them,
sir.
like this pandemic is doing for them. So just keep that in mind. I mean, on a
Yes, sir.
day-to-day basis, we should be looking at that. I have no idea. Could you tell me the top of the head right now what our seniors are for both high school, and how does it compare to last year at this
As far
time?
as far as like failure rates, you mean?
I know classified seniors, that true
Oh,
seniors.
yeah, I don't have that data with me, sir, but I'll be more than happy to provide that data. I can send it via email or something. Mr. Rana is also on the call, so I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that's okay, but you see what I'm getting at is that we're our numbers are low to begin with enrollment, and again,
Right.
this is not just here at the ISD,
Uh-huh.
but we've got to be certain that we don't want to lose any of our seniors,
Yes, sir.
regardless of what the outcomes out there,
Absolutely.
without us not using all the resources we have.
Yes, sir. You got it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, I do. I have one. I know, Sue, that last year, I know TEA had asked and went to certain requirements that we had to meet, and I know we're not tracking those here, but I know that at the graduation rate, and depending on the number of students, that the district would be compensated for a on CCMR. Particularly, I think it was also military that, depending on the number of folks that would graduate, and then also the number of students that would join the military. Are we getting any feedback from TA whether those programs that they had established originally to give us or to compensate us for those students that did meet those requirements?
Sir, and I'm being very honest with you. Those requirements that the put forward, we did get some funding, but it wasn't a lot. I think it's somehow misleading because initially when we learn about that, it was very kind of vague. And we thought, like you said, for anybody who meets CSMR will get funding, extra funding, whatever. But it's really kind of tricky. It's not everybody. They have to meet certain criteria, etc. So meeting CCMR, in other words, it's not just it, right? And so we did get some, but it's not a lot of money. I don't know if I mean, I can give you the information. I think Ms. Cancino, I don't know if she knows that exact number on top of her head, but it wasn't a lot of money for CCMR.
No, and then going back to just one of the questions was asked earlier. I mean, we know we're tracking certain information for certain folks, and I'm not sure we're also tracking a number of folks that are not participating from our graduate future graduates, because obviously the challenges that we have across on spectrum when it comes to COVID-19. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir. So I can tell you, and thank you, sir, for bringing that up. I know, and SDC, for example, been a great partner with us. And I don't know if they're still on the call, but there are some programs, for example, that requires students to have contact hours on site. In other words, you cannot just do your contact hours from home. And some of our students and some of our parents, and I respect that, they said, no way, I'm not sending my kid to school. Okay, so if they don't go to school, which is, again, I respect that. I understand maybe there is some fear about, being on campus, etc. What happens is they won't be earning those credits. Not because we don't want to give it to them, because also STC have certain rules when it comes to contact hours or doing things hands-on. Does that make sense? So for example, welding, if you don't go there, you're not going to learn that you're not going to get credit for it, because you cannot do welding from home, So that complicated, what I'm trying to say, that complicated situation for our parents, for our students, but for us too, and our staff and teachers, as we try to make sure that our students are completing those requirements to get their CTE certification. I don't know if that answers your question, I guess.
And it does, because I mean, there's obviously certain requirements that we all, as students have to meet. And if we're, as parents, obviously they have to understand also that they have to meet a requirement. And if they're not meeting it, there's only so much we can do from our perspective. And I know that's a challenging situation, obviously, because of COVID-19. Now, if there's something that TA, I think in the future, supposed to have a plan whether we're going to be extended or not. I've read some documentation that says they may or may not, but do we have anything on that based on the studies that they've done?
No, no, we don't have any updates from TEA. I mean, we pretty much every time we try to ask for something, and when it comes to, you know, remember what we asked, last one we asked is for 2 weeks to extend virtual for 2 weeks, 100%, and we were denied that proposal or their request. So no, nothing new, but obviously if I hear anything different, I will be more than happy to update our board members if we hear anything different. I think we have a Zoom meeting with the commissioner next Thursday, and we may hear something different.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I guess we can start with Mr. Castillo. Accept or reject the report? Colonel?
Accept.
David?
Accept.
Mr. Valdez? Watts? Mrs. Watts? Oh, she said accept. And Mr. Reina? Accept, and I also accept. Moving on down to business and finance, discussion and possible action of interlocal cooperation agreement for Redskin Avenue between Donna ISD and the city of Donna, Texas. Dr. Easy.
Thank you, Dr. Valdez and board members. So as you remember, I don't know, some of you probably remember, way back in, I think the summer of last year, we were approached by the city of Donna, and they wanted our assistance in getting pretty much Redskin Avenue fixed and paved and all that stuff. Back then, our board members approved an MOU, but we also set a due date for that street to be completed. Unfortunately, due to, I guess, some situation in the city with some of their staff, I think COVID, etc., they were unable to complete. I think they just dig the dirt, and they were never able to pour the concrete and pave it. So and then they stopped. So then just recently, I had a conversation again with our city, city of Donna, and the manager, and they are willing to complete the project. As you know, it's really next to our early college high school. So I think they are on the call. I invited them to come and talk to the board. I told them you would not have to go and do another MOU. I have to bring it up to our board members for their discussion and possibly action, but I wanted them to explain more about all that stuff to our board members. So I hope that they are on the call.
Dr. Aziz, this is Carlos Llerena, the city manager. Can you hear me?
Sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, I am on the call, and I think our city engineer, Javier Hinojosa, is on the call as well. Before we get started, I do want to recognize the Board of Trustees. I am a product of the Donna ISD 1988 class, so recognize the work that you guys are doing for our students, for our kids. Speaking relatively to the interlocal agreement, the interlocal agreement that we're proposing basically would allow the city to participate with the school district, and basically we're asking for the school district to pay for the materials, to pay for segment A, which would be a segment of 670 linear feet, which would be from Salinas Boulevard of 493 to the entrance of the football stadium. About 670 linear feet. It would be a 3-lane, 38 feet wide street, and then the city would, with its own resources, pave the street from the football stadium all the way to the baseball stadium. So in total, I believe it's an estimate about 2,200 linear feet of street paving. We are at this point asking for you guys to help us with $55,000, which would again which would pay for the material for the 673-lane street up to the football stadium. And we are anticipating that we can start construction sometime in March. We anticipate it would take about a month for construction, maybe a little bit less, but we want to make sure that that we give adequate time for our staff to pave it. Most of the foundation is already in place. We just need to go in there and get the work done. And if there's any questions, I would gladly entertain the questions. Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir, you're muted, sir. You're muted.
Mr. Readiness.
Yes, yes, sir.
This is David De Los Rios. I got a quick question for you. So if you were to pave the road, that would be the whole thing being paved to the end of the baseball stadium? Or it's just going to be just a partial part to the football stadium?
Your participation we're asking you to participate and help us with the materials only up to the football stadium, but we are going to be paving the whole street all the way to the baseball stadium. The three-lane street will only be up to the football stadium.
And that anticipation would be in March or by the end of March that y'all would be done?
For the start, we're anticipating to start construction in beginning of March, and we anticipate about a month of construction to get it done.
And you're looking at that timeline because of the weather conditions, obviously, for January and February, correct?
Yes, sir. And also because we also have I don't know if the school board is aware, we are also working on another project, which is the infrastructure for the box retailers that are coming in on 493. The city has been working on that for the last couple of months, and we have completed that, but we're going to be gearing back up pretty quickly when they start construction on the actual stores. So we have just a short span, a free time to get it done.
There you go. Mr. Readiness.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, it's Fernando Castillo. How are you doing?
Doing great, Mr. Castillo.
Class of '88. Go Red.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Listen,
sir.
I know that, and I'm clearly aware of what you're doing here. But what does the future look like when you're going to go all the way east to the baseball stadium, and then you hit that the dead end where you're going to go left to the frontage road expressway, correct?
Yes, sir. We are looking. We are trying to work with the irrigation district. As you know, there is a irrigation canal there. So we are working with them to try to see if we can get more right of way to get an access road to the expressway.
Okay, but that's in the plan for the future, correct?
Yes, sir. That is for the future.
Right. And is there any talk, and again, since we're talking about your engineers and so forth, when you hit that dead end there, you're going to go north to the frontage road. There was some talk back then that you might, the city may help out to go south on that little strip that goes to Eastwood Avenue in front of the high school. I don't know, that's still in the plans for y'all in the future, but that was a talk to help out and alleviate the traffic once everything goes back to normal.
Well, yes, sir. That's a very good point. I think we need to look at that as an access. It alleviates the traffic all the way to the expressway. So definitely we can look at that.
Right. Oh, and I commend you, Mr. Readiness, to getting with these projects because it's a win-win both for the city and for our school district. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Readiness and Mr. Perez. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Mr. Perez.
Hey, listen, I know last time we talked and you presented to us, you gave us a presentation based on the same quote that you just gave us. I looked at your the actual agreement or interlocking cooperation agreement that you guys put together. And then the stipulation says, whether these guys complete or not, based on completion dates. Are we tying these on completion dates, or we're just tying this agreement based on on completion, because you said March 1st, and then maybe 30 days after that, but we don't have a completion date on there. It just says a start date. That's
Well, yes, sir. That's a good question. We are tying it to anticipated construction dates. As you know, the city we're going through this pandemic, and it has really hit the city's finances really hard. So we really need the assistance and participation of the school. Our bridge revenues have suffered tremendously. Our bridge actually is only operating at half the capacity because it's only operating till 4 o'clock, when it typically goes all the way to 9. So because of that, without a guaranteed participation by the school district, the city will not be able to move forward with this project. We just don't have the resources.
I don't think I have an issue with the co-sharing. I'm just based on the prior notification that you told us that we were started in August timeframe, because we did this in June of last year, and then we said it was going to start in August, and obviously the pandemic hit you guys for whatever reason, and obviously because it's occurring. Now it's actually picking up a lot more in our communities than it has in the past. So I guess my question goes back to completion timelines. Even though I got it, I support the effort. I just want to make sure that we're just not doing the same thing we did last time. Say, give us a date, and then suddenly we say, well, we can't complete it now because of X, Y, and Z. I want to make sure that we're reading the timelines that meets our requirements as well, because as you know, that will be a bit thrown here in the future.
No, we understand, and this would be a top priority project for our city. For our city, I can guarantee you that.
Mr. Guerrero, and I think the only thing is that I'm reading is that payment would be contingent upon you all completing the project, right? 5 days after completion.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Mr. Irena, I know when we spoke last week, I thought you mentioned something that you may have some time to get it to get this project started as soon as maybe the next couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know. Maybe is there something changed as far from that time we spoke? I guess to recently.
Well, the thing that has changed is that we have to go out, and because of the materials, we have to go out and bid it out. So that typically will take about 3 weeks.
Okay.
At the minimum. Okay. So that's we got to go through that process.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Any other questions? Board? At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Arnold?
I concur.
Okay, Mr. Valdez? Ms. Watts? Mr. Reyna? I also vote in favor. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your assistance and your cooperation.
Okay, moving on down to consent agenda, board members, if we've got that with plenty of time, I don't know if you all have any additional questions. And if not, then I'd like to entertain a motion to approve consent agenda as presented. Mr. Arnold? Favor? Joe Valdez? Ms. Watts? Mr. Reyna? And I also favor. Motion carries. Moving on down to governance, conservative monthly report for November 2020. Mrs. Romero, you have the floor.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Aziz. I have the November report. In November, a directive was issued for Board of Trustees to recognize and comply with Donna ISD Board Policy DBE Legal, which addresses the nepotism rules. This was issued because, I'm sorry, what?
We can barely hear you.
Yeah, it's hard to hear you.
Okay, do you want me to start again? Or? Okay, and this echoes. Okay, I would start with the governance. I'm doing a report in for November, and in November, a directive was issued for the Board of Trustees to recognize and comply with Donna ISD Board Policy DBE Legal, which addresses the nepotism rules. And the reason this was done was because we had 2 cases of nepotism from August to November. And then with the new board election, there's a rule that triggers automatically to go back 6 months and check on that. And as a result of that, there was another nepotism case that came up, but that was taken care of because the young lady decided to resign, and we have our board member here in place. So that was for governance. On a financial activity, everything's going there well, and I'll give you an update. On that one, we've actually already had the audit presented. At the time, it hadn't been presented, but the audit has been presented as of December the 15th, and the district got an unmodified opinion and no findings were found. So you're really doing very well in that. On the academic accountability, again, you had an update on December the 8th on the campus improvement plans that were prepared by those 5 campuses, and all of those plans have been submitted to TEA, and they're going through a process of reviewing them, and they modify, if they need to, they'll be modifying them and so forth, and that information will come to Mr. Rana, or the district for that matter. And then lastly, the one last item I believe that I have in there is the general activities, and that is the item that I had noted there was that HR had been busy holding trainings to the staff on the DBE legal policy and the DK local policy. And then the one last thing there, which is very good, is that your health insurance has actually gone up. I mean, for the first time since 2013, I believe, you had an excess of revenues over expenditures of 966,000, so that you have a fund balance of 1.4 million in your health insurance. And that is something that we had been working on ever since I came on board, that we wanted that to happen. But we really can't, we have to wait about it all this year and see where we're at, because this past year was not a normal year, and it's not a normal year right now. And we need to be able to keep it in place and keep it in the black. So we'll just have to wait and see where that takes us. That's my report. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Okay, if there's no other questions, the time is 7:15. We'll be moving now into executive session as authorized by the Texas Government Code sections 551.071, 072, 073, 074, 075, 076, 082, 083, and 084.